Hey, first and foremost, I want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of Experience Bigger, the virtual experience. Today is about to be one of those days that we all go to another level. Doesn't really matter to me which level you're playing on at this current time. I promise you, after this experience, even if you're listening to it on the replay or you're listening to it live and in the room right now, it's about to transform your life. You don't need a book. You don't need a paragraph. You just need a word. And I got three dynamic speakers that are getting ready to share with us gems. They're going to share with us jewels. They're going to share with us principles that if you'll pick them up, put them into action, your life is going to change. How do I know? Because that's what I do on a day-to-day basis. My name is Derrick Butts. I have the awesome privilege of being the CEO and founder of Assist You to Win, the connecting place, not for whiners, but for winners. It is a room like this room right here, where individuals that are tired of life as it has been and desires for life to be what it's supposed to be, we gather together, we glean from each other's garden, and we move ourselves to new levels. Today, you're going to meet some of my friends, some that I've known for a long time and some that I've known for just a short time. But here's what I know. They got something to say. So I'm going to step out the way. I got my pen. I got my pad. I'm ready for it. So the first person I'm about to bring to y'all, I didn't even tell y'all she was going to be speaking, right? I didn't tell anybody, but I asked this lady to share with us today. We've known each other probably the longest, for sure, out of the speakers. I've known this lady, this woman, for the longest of every single person in here. She's watched me transform from an immature, hot-headed, prideful, zealous person into who I am today. And I still got more room to transform, y'all. But she's my good friend. I'm glad to be able to call her friend. She rocks and rolls. She does a lot that in the corporate sector. She does a lot from the business side of life. She's one of the vice presidents, senior leaders of a major company. Her name today is Tanya, Bakari, and she's getting ready to grace us here from this moment. So y'all get ready for my good friend, Tanya Bakari. Y'all ready? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go to work. Come on, Tanya.
Wow. Well, how do you follow that? You know, we got this thing now, I match energy. Well, between you and Melody, I'm going to have to step it up a notch because I got to match this energy in this room. I just want to say thank you because this time that you're investing, guess what? You're not going to get this back. Time is the one commodity that we invest that we get back how we invest it. So if you're wasting it, you just wasted it. But I can guarantee you that today you're investing it in some good activities. So today, what I want to talk to you about is how to lead big, how to lead to exceed. So everybody here, we're sitting in various spaces. And I just want to commend the room because we do have some powerhouses in this room today. I mean, man, there is a plethora of talent sitting right here. So I'm not going to be before you long, like Derrick said. You don't need a whole lot. You just need a boost. So, baby, I'm here to boost you. I'm here to give you that small injection, that supplement that you need, that B12 shot in that leadership realm. So today, what I want to talk to you about and speak directly to you about is leadership. You lead daily, whether you believe it or not, whether you want to or not. Your presence today is an indicator that you want to experience something greater. You want to experience bigger because you're investing this time. And your ability to effectively lead is going to either assist you or inhibit you. Because guess what? You're the first person impacted by your leadership. Before you can lead anybody else, you got to lead you. So that's what today is about. It's a short, brief boost in that leadership space that you might need to get you over that bump. Did you know that there are various sources that state to become a professional, you need to have committed anywhere between 10,000 hours to 25,000 hours? Well, I'm here to tell you, I have over 260,000 hours in the leadership realm. So I know just a little bit about leadership. I'm a master technician of transition, and I'm a champion of change. I am the leader's leader. When I tell you I know how to lead, it does not matter what role you sit in. It doesn't matter where you are in your life today. It doesn't matter what circumstance you find yourself in. Again, it goes back to you leading you before you can lead others. So it sounds like everybody here today, you have an influence, an impact on someone else. So today, what I want to do is deposit, if you will, a currency into your leadership bank that will yield for you an unimaginable harvest or return if you implement. It's simple. It's not difficult. Like Derrick said, you don't need a whole book. These are things that you already know. It's about implementation and execution and timing. Are you ready? And obviously, you've taken the first step because you're here today. If it's your lunch break, if you're riding in your car, whatever it is you are not doing to intentionally do this, you're investing in the right space. You have to lead from a place of commitment and courage and not complacency. Better yet, what I like to say is you have to lead from a place of faith and not fear. And the reason why I say this is because when you lead from that place of faith and not fear, that courageous place, you take bold moves. You take bold steps. You don't take into account the audience that you're going to face, the potential criticism that you're going to experience, the ridicule that you're going to have to ride out. You're going to step boldly because guess what? You have invested the time in your talent. You cannot lean just on your talent alone. I'm a sports fanatic, and I used to be something like an athlete back in the day. So if you know anything about sports, you got those who, they don't have to practice. They can just show up and play. And by talent alone, it'll get them somewhere. But those who show up every day that have some talent and master their skill in their craft, when it's time for them to bloom, guess what? They outshine that one with talent because they have the discipline and the commitment to continue to show up day in and day out. And what that does, that helps you with your competence. That's where that courage comes from, the competence. I put the time in, I'm doing the work. I'm investing in myself and in my craft. Yes, I have talent. And much like Derrick, I'm an influencer. And I too have had to grow from that place of immaturity and just really resting on my talent and really investing in who I was created to be. And I'm a leader. I can lead my way out of a paper bag and a dark place. And you'll look up and be like, how is she in front of me? Because I've learned to do the hard work, to do the things that matter most. And what that's done, it's afforded me the opportunity to lead from a place of confidence. So when I find myself in a position, or you find yourself in a position where you have to make a tough decision because you've invested in you and you've invested your time to sharpen that talent, you sought out a coach like Derrick Butts, or some of you that are coaches, you've sought out someone who can help you go from good to great. You're not just resting on your talent alone, but you're disciplined in your commitment. And what it also does is if you lead a team, your team will start to follow you as a result of their trust in you and not your title. And guess what? What happens is when you start to move from good to great because you have invested in your time and your talent to become the best, and you seek out a mentor, and I'm gonna help you with this one, because there's a difference between a mentor and a coach. A coach typically is someone that, like Derrick Butts, you employ them for their expertise, for their professional prowess, and oftentimes you pay, so you are willing to invest. They can also sit in that mentor space. However, oftentimes when you seek out a mentor, oftentimes it's someone that has achieved what you aspire to achieve, and there is not necessarily a monetary cost always equated with that. But should you seek out a mentor, please don't waste their time and disrespect them by not applying the wisdom that they've given you to help you execute your goals. So in order for you to move from that place of fear and complacency, and that's where fear sits sometimes, in complacency, we're afraid to get outside of ourselves. So if you want to lead big, if you want to experience bigger, you've got to first start leading yourself from a place that's competent, that's confident, that's faith-filled, and not fearful. That makes sense? So one of the things that I've experienced in my lifetime, it's been a lot of transition. And when I say a lot, I can't even begin to tell you, but it is a lot. But what I've learned to do is to take that and help me pivot. And then what I do is when my team is facing the uncertain or the unknown, or there's an obstacle seen or unseen, because of my confidence, because of the competencies that I've established and I've worked on to become a professional, I'm able to lead them in that space of uncertainty. And guess what? It helps you create strategic, successful plans that are executed and they yield positive results. Even if you make a mistake, if you are leading from that place that's full of courage and competency, you will own your mistakes in front of your team, call that audible, roll up your sleeves, and guess what? They will rise and they will produce as a result of that. And they will still follow your leadership. But guess what it does for you too? It helps you trust you. Remember, you're the first person that you're going to lead. So in order for you to lead from that place of faith and not fear, you've got to invest in you. So find a mentor, employ a coach, you find resources, invest your time wisely, but you've got to invest in you. You've got to believe that you're worth that $5 cup of coffee, because I ain't giving no shout outs today. Ain't no free publicity today. However, you got to take what you're doing and reevaluate it and reinvest it so that you can begin to produce those bigger returns that you so desire to have. So all I wanted to do today is just stop by and to tell you one thing: lead from a place of faith and not fear. Amen. Be courageous in your competency and allow your competency to take you to a place that you've not even seen yet. So lead from faith and not fear. Your call to action today is just that, to change your mindset. Little by little, invest in you. Take the time to invest in your skill set so that you can lead big. So go lead big. That's all I got.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Come on, y'all. That's my friend Tanya Bakari. Thank you so much for leading us out the gates, getting us going. Hey, we're just getting started. We're leading big. We're going bigger. Thank you for the notes. Some of you are putting notes in the chat. Some of you are taking notes on your paper. Hey, so let's recap real quick, and then we're going right to the next thing, because this is a day full of empowerment. Number one, she said you need to spend 10 to 25,000 hours in a specific subject area before you call yourself an expert. So I need to help somebody here. How do I clock in these hours? I'm going to challenge you. It's called the bookend system. I'm going to just drop in some coaching along the way. So I want to give you the bookend system. That is, we get up 15 minutes earlier than we normally get up, and we stay 15 minutes later than we normally go to bed. See, people know your routines that you have. And if you'll take that extra 15 early, no one's going to text you. No one's going to call you. No one's going to even know you're up. That is your dedicated time in the area that you want to build. That is your dream time. That is your seed time. That is your get it on time, where it's just you, the nighttime or the morning time. It's just you and your content. It's your journal. It's your writing. Matter of fact, some of you got so much stuff down that you now need to just get started in your content. You may not be an expert today, but you can develop your rookie class. I said something to somebody. Every one of us has a rookie class that you can get to start following you, right? And with that rookie class, they're going to be a little bit beneath you, but you're going to help grow them. While you have that class going, you need to do what Tanya told you, and that's be involved with a coach or a mentor. Listen, we got a lot of people that coach around us and assist you to win. You need to find one. I'm not for everyone. Matter of fact, I don't have space for everyone, but I got some real powerful coaches that can help you, right? Tanya, Diane's in the room, Dr. John's in the room. Let me see who else is in here that I know that are some of my coaches that coach around us. I know Bridget coaches, I know Ann coaches. I mean, there's a room full of kids. So you make sure that you get you a part of that. And they should talk to us about a mentor, get to the next level, find somebody that's done it and get on their coattail. All right, y'all. Come on, y'all. Round one, Tanya, Bakari. Thank you so much. Drop it like it's hot. Yes, that was some good stuff. All right, y'all. Hey, here's what we're getting ready to do. We're getting ready to shift. Right before I bring up our second speaker, I know y'all want to hear Melody Shari. So I'm about to ask her 3 questions right now, like just 3 questions. We're gonna do a little quick interview. I call this the 2-minute drill. Yeah, 2-minute drill. We're gonna do a 2-minute drill with her. Melody, you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. How you doing?
No, hey, we're good.
I'm already excited. I enjoyed all the information that was shared just previously by Tanya. That was great.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you just participating in the space and being here. You could have came at a different time. I told her what time she was going to speak. She could have just showed up right then, y'all. But she said, and her people told me, no, Melody going to come. She going to participate in it all. I said, I love it. All right, quick. Let's go. Let's get it on, Melody. Here we go. Question number one that I have for you. What is it about business that just excites you? Like you just get up and just put that smile right there. That one that you just gave us, that one. What is it about business though? I mean, we look at you, we see all the things that you do, so maybe even give us a glimpse of, for those that don't know, give us a glimpse of maybe the businesses that you're a part of today, or even some that you've done before. And then go ahead and go right into answering that question of what is it about business that just flat out excites you?
Absolutely. So first of all, Derrick, thank you for having me here. To everyone who's on the call today, hi, hope everyone is doing well, blessed, and highly favored. Amen. So for me, I have a degree in English education, and I taught for 3.5 years, but as we all know, teachers, they don't make enough money, not for everything that they do, right? And so it became a desire to supplement that income. So at the age of around 22, I started a lawn care business, a cleaning business, where, I was cleaning office spaces and mowing lawns, getting commercial contracts going out, getting commercial contracts for lawn care. And then I got into something called property preservation, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry, white male-dominated industry. I got in that in 2010, and I started doing record numbers very quickly. And so I was like, I'd never heard of property preservation, but this is very lucrative, right? This is awesome. And so, and I was enjoying what I was doing. And so after a few months, I was able to resign from teaching. So you got lawn care, cleaning, property preservation, where I'm now working on foreclosures, started in Huntsville, Alabama, expanded into the Birmingham areas, expanded into full state, Mobile and Montgomery, full state, Alabama. And then before I knew it, I was covering 7 states at one time by way of property preservation. And so always looking for opportunities to grow and expand. And from there, of course, now I'm doing, TV production. So I actually am a part of Love and Marriage Huntsville, the Oprah Winfrey Network's show. And then I also have a production company as well, where we're constantly working on projects and doing sizzles and pitching shows. I actually have a skincare line that I started this year, 7th Avenue Premier Skincare. I have a lipstick line as well with Posner Cosmetics, another woman-owned business. I have my property preservation master course, where I teach students how to get into this multi-billion-dollar industry that allowed me to resign from teaching comfortably. And so I've had over 600 students since June of 2022 who've gone through my program. So I've created 600 entrepreneurs since June of 2022. And one of our first things, the first week, is creating their business LLCs, getting their business checking accounts, their EINs, all of that great stuff. And I also, of course, I'm doing acting in movies and music. My music career, I launched that recently as well. So recording and creating videos and visuals for that. I just launched a home decor line called Grandeur by 7th Avenue. You told me to list for you what I'm doing. I just launched that. And of course, I have other things that are in the work. I just launched a clothing collaboration with celebrity stylist Jay Bolin. Walked in New York Fashion Week for the first time this past year. Got some more things coming up by way of Dubai and Paris for next year. And so always doing stuff while being a wonderful mother of 4 at the same time. But, you know, I just thank God. I thank God that he gives me the strength and the mindset to do everything that I'm doing. And being productive with what I'm doing. What I love about business, I love, for one, the financial freedom that it gives me. By way of being an entrepreneur and working my business harder than I used to even work someone else's business, because I believe that's the way it should go. I definitely love that I have a financial freedom to where I'm able to live the lifestyle I desire to live and able to give my children the type of lifestyle that I desire for them to have. So I love that piece of it. And I also love seeing something from the baby stage or that beginning phase, and then watching it grow, growing it, building it, scaling it, and then being able to look and say, wow, okay, I took it from here to here. This is amazing, right? I love that fulfillment piece of it. And what's interesting is, I think that's why I love lawn care so much, honestly. With lawn care, you pull up to a client's home, they got shrubs all over the place, lawn maybe not cut and mowed, and you get out there and you mow it, and when you're done, you look, you turn around and you look and you like, shoot, I did that. You know what I'm saying? So that piece right there, you know, back to 22-year-old male doing that, and to now 37-year-old male still enjoying seeing something in one space and watching it change by way of my work and my doing. That's very fulfilling for me. So I love creating businesses. I love creating successful businesses, and I love working in my business.
Man, I love it. I love it. Listen, I need everybody that has the ability to, I mean, my drivers, Tracy, don't you get no accident. This ain't no insured call. But if you can, I want you to type financial freedom in the chat. I see some of you already did that, right? Type financial freedom in the chat. Listen, remember, we always participate and give permission for prosperity to come into our world.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we have to activate something by doing something. So when you hear something, you have to activate it. Type that in the chat. I know I got a host of you that I talk to on a normal basis that you're tired of hustling a hobby, and you're ready to build a business. Yeah. Her masterclass that she just talked about, 600 students that had a desire, that was tired of life being the same. Success leaves clues. So she didn't just leave them and go to the next level. She shared with them the information so that they could duplicate, right? Similar efforts duplicate similar results. So we naturally, there's things that are out here. Remember, this space in here is so abundant that if you have a desire, Chelsea, bought her first property this year, right? I'm just thinking, Brittany, the reason why I wanted you two in the room is because I told you she's lived out things in real estate. She is the woman, she inspires, she's done it, right? So I wanted you to catch up. There's others of you that desire. Kelly Houston, you play in the real estate space, have lots of influence. And Christopher Rose, you're in the room, right? So there's people in here that you know, there's clues. Listen, abundance does not think about just what they have and what they offer. Abundance says, who can you bring around to give you access that does what you desire to do? Yeah, that's why this room was important, all right? So killer code, right? Killer code. You listed so many things that I would dare not try to repeat them. I just summed it up in one word called busypreneur. Let's get it on, right? Let's get it on. Matter of fact, I've already bought the domain for anybody that's trying to go get it. I own the domain, busypreneur.com. Ain't nothing up on it yet, but I promise you there'll be stuff on it. So don't try to get that domain. I got it. You'll buy busypreneur.click. You will not get .com. All right, great stuff. Thank you for that. All right, question two. What's one thing you see that entrepreneurs need to focus on in order to get some lift in their business? Now I know I said one thing. I know it's gonna be hard. You gonna keynote at the end, so you can give us 8 things then. But seriously, when you really look out, because you're around so many people attach themselves to you. But tell us, what's one thing that you would see that you really look and say, man, entrepreneurs need to focus right here. It'll get them a great lift. What would that one thing be?
Absolutely. So if I could choose one thing, it would be working in their business. I run across a lot of people who are quick to want to hire a whole bunch of people and, you know, run out and get the biggest, prettiest office space, because a lot of times people are going for the look, for it to look like they're super successful or look like they're doing amazing things. I'll be honest with you, right downstairs, down here in the bottom of my home is my skincare products. And when I want to go down there and pack my skincare products up, that's what I do. And of course I get a tax incentive as well, because my home is part of my office space, right, in my work. So, but I see a lot of times people, you know, they start businesses, they create businesses, but they're not willing to do the work in that business. Like I said, they want to quickly hire a whole bunch of people. Like I talked to somebody, it was somebody I talked to the other day. They were just starting something. They said they're going to hire they said they're going to hire a social media manager. I was like, why are you going to pay for a social media manager when you're just getting started? You can manage your own social media right now. Like, I think people don't understand sometimes the hard work, Derrick, and the time you have to put in when you say you want this thing to happen and to work for you. I literally have a spot on this finger because of social media, because before Love and Marriage Huntsville in 2018, I was brand building about 6-7 years prior to that. So when it comes to responding to people, responding to DMs, engaging with the audience, I've been doing that for a long time. So I sit my phone when I'm typing, it sits here on this finger when I'm responding. So I got a little spot on this finger that probably ain't gonna ever go away. But that's a part of me putting in the time, the effort, the energy. And I love when you say what you put out to the universe is going to give back or is going to respond, right? Yeah. And that's why I feel like things are flourishing when it comes to my business, because I do put out, you know what I mean? I put out good energy. I put out work ethic. I put out hard work, dedication. You know, I make sure that I'm consistent with what I do. And so just being willing to work in their business. So don't be so quick to think you need 10 employees and you just started this business yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
That's good.
You might have to start out being HR, CEO, accountant. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might have to start out being all of that at first. That's okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You know, that's one of the principles. Some of my people are looking and saying, yeah, here you go, Coach D, right? We talk about it. You're the CEO, you're the manager, and you're the worker, and you're all three. And you got to know when to put what hat on, and you got to have CEO vision. You got to have managerial accountability, but then you got to have work ethic, right? So I love that. I love what you said there. You know, I put in the notes as you were talking, you know, sometimes we get caught up in vanity metrics. Right? Yep. We want to win in the things that are vain. We want to look away and then don't have anything. We call it hustle your hobby versus building your business, right? Yeah, you know, we can edit, you can go and get filters and you go do all these things, but the reality is, where's the profitability? So profitability and productivity should govern and guide and drive all that we do. So I love what you said there. Okay. Hey, last question. Matter of fact, let me just say this. I'm about to ask you this question. You're going to give this, and then we're about to bring up our second voice. And then right after that, you know, Melody's going to just come back and just give us the business, y'all. All right. So here's what I want to say, though. If you're just joining into the chat, first off, thank you for coming in. I know some of you are on your lunch break and you're just in and out. There will be a replay for this room, but I do want to say, put in the chat who you are, what you do, and where you're from. Right now, Texas, it's just how we roll, y'all. We come deep, we come big, which is how we do. So if you're just joining and you have not put in the chat, you know, those things, then please make sure that you do it. All right. Let's see. Third question, Melody, kind of similar to this one, but and I know you're going to really dive into this stuff in a second, but third question is, can you share with us, and I keep going to one thing, Guys, I ask her one thing because I don't want you to get caught up in how many things or how many businesses or how many, but there is one thing that you could be doing. That's what I really want to focus on. What's the one thing you can do? So can you share with us one secret to going bigger in 23?
Absolutely. I love it. Clear your space and your energy. You know, we've all heard them say it's lonely at the top, right? And I believe you have to start, and God will start preparing you for being at the top. And that includes removing attachments, removing certain energies, certain spirits out of your space so that you can go to where it is that he wants you to go. So don't wait until you get to the top to start looking around and figuring out then who shouldn't be in this space, whose energy ain't right. You got to start doing that as you're going there, as you're reaching for bigger. And so as you're preparing, I know I'm doing it, as you're preparing to go into a new year, look around you. Look around you, do an assessment. Who around me pours into me? Who around me supports my vision and my dreams? Who around me believes in me? Those are the people that you keep with you. And the people who bring your energy down, always complaining, woe is me, not supporting you. You roll out something, you don't hear nothing from them. They don't buy nothing. They don't support nothing. They don't even take the time to do something free and share it. Be mindful of that and remove and clear your energy for where it is that God wants to take you.
Come on. I love it. Y'all, we're going to hear from Melody some more in just a second. Man, but those 3 questions, she answered them. She has stuff going on. I love that answer, though, of clearing out space, watching who's there. Y'all know what a mosquito does. It lands softly and it sucks intensely. Come on. It lands softly. If you're not careful, you won't even know it's there.
That's right.
Suck everything out of you to the place that there's no life left in you, because it took everything from you. You got to watch it, right? I say it all the time. The same thing you use to jumpstart your battery will also drain your battery.
That's right.
Don't let everybody just sit there and just, if you have to do that every day with them people, you have to give them all that juice every day.
Yeah.
They need an engine overhaul. They need an engine overhaul. They need a heart transplant. You need them to put them on the altar at your church and ask the mothers and the rest of the sisters to come lay oil on them, and don't tell them they need more.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
All right. Hey, listen. All right. The next person I'm about to bring up, y'all, I'm going to show you how some things work. Sometimes you don't have to know the people. You don't have to have FaceTime with the people, but you can know of the people through people. So I've been watching this lady for the last 3 years, and I've been watching SpeakerCon. I've been watching people that I know go up there. I saw one of my guys that I rock with here in Texas. He went up and spoke one year, and I saw him go do that. And I just been following her and just watching the nuggets and just watching her just transform and just do what she does. And then finally, when the word dropped in my spirit this year about experience bigger, I've been thinking about this since about August and September. But when that word dropped in my spirit, the word said, Derrick, if you're going to experience bigger, it's time for you to look in the mirror and know that you're already bigger. And because you're already bigger, go invite bigger. Bigger not just because of a name, but bigger because they drew a line in the sand and said, I'm just not going to play small anymore. I'm going to play big. So I reached out to Dr. Cheryl Wood. Y'all, some of these folks are real people. Like Melody said, Dr. Cheryl Wood, she's real. I reached out to her on the good old Facebook Messenger. That's how I reached out. It wasn't through X, Y, and Z. It was just through Facebook Messenger. I shared something to her and she responded back. And here we are today doing different things. I believe 2023, we're going to do a lot together, but we're right here today. Dr. Cheryl Wood, she travels the world sharing her message, also giving us tips, techniques, strategies on how to perfect probably one of the most valuable things you have, and that is your voice. Your story matters. You have a name and a story if you don't have anything else. So if you will, come on, y'all give it up for my friend. Y'all can just, listen, y'all can just hit your keyboard and whatever letter comes out, that's like you saying, come on, Dr. Cheryl, come on, Dr. Cheryl. Y'all give it up for my friend, Dr. Cheryl Wood, as she comes and shares with us.
Oh my goodness. Look, I'm so excited. I'm loving all the good energy. I mean, I'm just piggybacking on what Tanya said, and then Melody came in and all the nuggets you've been dropping, Derrick. Here's what I want everybody to say, and I want you to type this in the chat, but I also want you to say this to yourself. I'm about to blow my own mind for 2023. Forget about blowing anybody else's mind. Forget about proving it to anybody else. Forget about what you got to post on social media. I need you to blow your own mind for all the things you're going to do, all the things you're going to accomplish, who you're going to become, the lives you're going to impact, the legacy you're about to create, the wealth that you're about to create. I need you to blow your own mind for 2023. And I love that this entire experience is called Bigger. The bigger experience. How do we get a bigger experience out of this thing called life? Because for me, every day that I wake up and I have life and breath in my body, I'm on an assignment, a divine assignment to do bigger, to do more. And as I was thinking about this, and I know I only have a few minutes, just about 10 or 15 minutes, but I really got to deeper thought about experiencing bigger. And what I connected it to is 3 other action words that have to be happening in order for you to experience bigger. So experiencing bigger is kind of, let's consider that to be the finish line. I'm going to experience something bigger, bigger legacy, bigger impact, bigger money, right? All the things we talk about. But how do I get there? 3 things you've got to do to get there. You got to envision bigger, you've got to expect bigger, and then you got to execute bigger. If you don't do those 3 things, you can't even get to the finish line of experiencing bigger. So when we talk about envisioning bigger, the question is, what vision are you still staying stuck on? You know, the thing that was divinely downloaded to you, you've been thinking about producing it or creating it or launching it or hosting it for years, but you still haven't pressed the go button because of fear, doubt, what if, people's judgment, other people's opinion, maybe your own toxic thinking. What is it that you are sitting on that somebody else is waiting on? And they're not getting their breakthrough. They're not getting their next level revelation because you haven't done anything with the vision. You haven't even taken ownership of the vision. And perhaps you haven't taken ownership of the vision yet because you just think it's too big for you. I am here to disrupt any of the thinking that's been happening in your life for the past 12 months. I'm here to disrupt any toxic thinking that you've been telling yourself about your ability not to play at a next level, about your ability not to sit at the right tables and get the right opportunities. No, there is a big vision on your life. And now is the time for you to embrace, to acknowledge, and take ownership of the vision. I will never forget. It's so funny that, Derrick, you talk about SpeakerCon. We've done SpeakerCon now for 4 years. We just finished our 4-day live SpeakerCon experience, November 2nd through 5th, here in the Washington, D.C. region. And the funny part about SpeakerCon is that it's massively successful. We help thousands of entrepreneurs to unleash the power of their voice, to tap into the impact and power of their story, and to connect how they can monetize their mess. But for years, I sat on that vision. It was a divinely downloaded vision that God had given me, but I was too busy discounting who I was. Because in my mind, I was still Cheryl Wood, who grew up in Lafayette Projects. Come on, somebody. Grew up in Lafayette Projects, who came from nothing, who had no college degree. I was still in that space instead of the space that God said, which was, you are powerful, powerful beyond all measure, that the world is waiting on you to show up. They are waiting to hear your voice, that somebody's life will never be the same again because you show up and you open your mouth about the mess you've been through and about the stuff I pulled you through. Mm-hmm. So because I couldn't see bigger, because I didn't allow the vision to fully settle into the fact that I was the person who was assigned to that, I stayed stuck. And I sat on that idea of executing SpeakerCon for almost 2 years. And I simply kept questioning, but why me, God? How could you be saying I'm the one who's supposed to execute this big vision when there is this person in the marketplace and there's that great speaker in the marketplace? And I was doing nothing but robbing my own joy because I was comparing myself to others who were masters in the industry. Guess what? I get to be a master too. And there are levels of mastery. And some of us are not allowing ourselves to play in the full bigness of our vision because we are assigning greatness to others, but we're not turning that mirror back around and assigning the same greatness to self. So I want you to say to self right now, I am enough, just as I am. I am worthy. I am capable. I am adequate. And the world is just waiting on me to show up and take ownership of my power. Ooh, when you say that over and over and over and over and over and over, and I emphasize saying it over and over and over again, because initially when you say it, you probably won't believe it, just like I didn't. How can this girl who grew up in Lafayette Project be a giant in the world? How can I travel to South Africa and India and Europe and all these parts of the world to speak life into others? I had to disrupt my stinking thinking. Now, when you unplug something and you take a light away, what do you have to do if you still need that light? You've got to find a new outlet to plug it into. So some of you are attempting to disrupt, you're attempting to unplug from all the toxic stuff you're telling yourself about yourself, but you have not plugged into a new source of power. So you've got to ask yourself, what am I plugging the cord into? If I disconnected it from this socket, what's the new socket that I'm plugging in that allows me to stay filled and fueled and to challenge anything that I've told myself that's a lie? And if you have told yourself that you are anything other than amazing and fearfully and wonderfully made and designed to leave your fingerprint on this world, you have been telling yourself for a lie. And as we go into 2023 and we blow our own minds, we have got to stop telling lies to ourselves. And we've got to acknowledge the truth that you are created for something so much bigger than just you, which means you've got to get out of your own way. So you've got to envision. What vision are you still allowing to stay small and perhaps not even be unveiled or unleashed because of your own fears, doubts, what ifs, and your own feelings of lack? Number two, expect. You got to expect bigger. Expect means to anticipate. It means to believe. It means there's something that you're looking forward to. So in order to expect something, guess what? You got to be able to put something in. I have never been able to expect to go to my bank account and put my ATM card in and expect a withdrawal, baby, if I ain't put in a deposit first. So what are you expecting based on the deposits that you are putting in? If you want to play all out for 2023, what have you put in? What are you putting in? What will you put in? One of the things I challenge my clients to say every day is my feet will not be planted in the same place they are today 12 months from now. But do you believe that? Going into next month, in just a few days, in January, will you be putting the same stuff on your vision board that you put on the vision board for the past 5 years because you ain't done nothing? And if you ain't done nothing, if you ain't put nothing in, you can't expect anything. You can't experience anything bigger. Ask me how I know. Well, because I didn't just wake up here in this space. I feel blessed. I am blessed and highly favored to walk in my purpose, to walk in my calling. I know without a shadow of a doubt that I was born to speak life into the dreams of other women who look like me. There is no question about it. But I could not get to this space of experiencing, being able to do this full time, being a 7-figure earner as a girl who grew up in poverty, who came from nothing with no college degree. I could never experience this reality if I didn't put some deposits in. Melody talked about that. You got to do the work. As social media manager, I was over here, girl, I wanted to take my shoe off and throw it at the screen like they do in church because I was like, yes, you better say it. I was the receptionist who was answering the phone, talking about, great afternoon, Personal Power Enterprises. Oh, you're looking for Cheryl Wood? Hold one moment, please. And honey, passing the phone to myself. Hello, great afternoon. This is Cheryl Wood. Can I help you? I was the receptionist. I was the clerical assistant, the executive assistant. I was the CEO, the treasurer, the account, every title that you could have in the business. I was her. Yeah. Until I was able to get to a space where my business, the revenue and the profits that I was generating in my business demanded that I hire people outside of myself. But some of us, we try to jump into that too quickly. You've got to be able to expect that you're going to work. You got to expect that you've got to exercise some discipline. You've got to expect that you've got to have to nurture some friendships and connections and relationships, because I promise you a big part of you experiencing bigger is not just about what you know, it's about who you know. I'm keeping an eye on my time. It's not just about what you know, it's about who you know, who knows you, and what they know about you. It's about how often your name is put in a hat for opportunities because you have developed a know, like, and trust factor in the marketplace. So what is it that you are known for? What are you trusted for? What do people love about you? For me, you are never going to find this energy, baby. And that's no disrespect to anybody else and what they bring to the table. That ain't my business. What you bring to the table ain't my business. What I bring to the table and honoring my God-given assignment is my business. Are you making it your business to honor your God-given assignment and the calling that's on your life by putting in the work, by paying the dues, by showing up? And nobody ever said it was going to be easy. I didn't get here walking away from my full-time job of 15 years as a legal secretary in corporate America, where every day I went to a 10 by 10 cubicle and shuffled papers for attorneys who were making 6, 7, 8, 9 times my salary. I didn't get to this place where I was able to walk away from that as a wife of 21 years. My husband and I just celebrated 21 years of marriage. As a mother of 3. When I started this journey 12 years ago, my babies were babies. Now I got 3 teenagers. Y'all pray for me. Pray for me, okay? 3 teenagers. I have 2 sons and a daughter. My sons are 15 and 16, and my daughter is 18. So I'm not done. I'm still raising kids up in here. And you know they need you even more when they're teenagers. Y'all pray for a sister. But I didn't get to create this life just because I dreamed about it, or I put it on social media that I wanted it, or I went to a vision board party, or I journaled about it, because Lord knows I love my journal books. It didn't just happen because of that. It was because of everything that I put in. And when, I can't remember who talked about investing. I can't remember if it was, I think it was Tanya, that investing, that's real. Because you don't even know what you don't know until you get into spaces and you hear different conversation and you're like, oh, snap. Like, I didn't even realize, because most of us, what we do is we get into a space, we grow, we work, we grow, and then we're the smartest ones in the circle. And so we stay in that circle, in that community, because it feels good to us to be the smartest person, to be the most successful person. But here's what I challenge you to do in 2023. Go into some spaces, number 1, where you got to invest at a level that terrifies you. And number 2, nobody knows your name. And number 3, you don't know what they talking about. See, that's a different level of experiencing bigger. So now I go into rooms with 8-figure earners and I don't know what they talk about, but you know what I do go with? My notepad and my pen. I'll be like, oh, she said that, and he said that, and they said that. Let me go Google this after I finish this, after I get out of this mastermind. I'm in masterminds that cost me over $100,000. To be in that mastermind. Why? Because I know who I'm becoming. And I know in order to become that person, I've got to expect that I'm going to put myself into spaces that are uncomfortable, that are different, that are new, that kind of terrify me. And I'm in the room, can you believe it? And I'm the one who's quiet. See, those are the rooms I go into now. So God is creating this space for me to go into new doors because I've given him something to work with. I've given him something to bless. And let me say this last piece in terms of expecting. Stop praying for what you're not willing to work for. I'm going to say that one more time. Stop praying for what you ain't willing to work for. If you're not willing to work for it, stop praying to God for it. Because what will happen is he will bless you with the opportunity. He will present it to you. But are you creating excuses not to walk through the door? Oh, God, that's more than I thought I was going to have to invest. Oh, God, but I don't like her or him. That it has nothing to do with the messenger sometimes. It's the message that God is presenting to you. It's the opportunity that he's presenting to you. And you've got to believe so much in what he has promised you, because he is true to his word, and walk by faith, not by fear, as someone said earlier, that you are willing to do whatever it takes. You got to be committed to it, not just interested in it. Last but not least, because I got 2 minutes, execute. In order to experience bigger, oh baby, you got to execute bigger. I want you to put this in your notes. Knowledge is power, but knowledge executed is my superpower. Woo! Say it again, Dr. Wood. Knowledge is power, but knowledge executed is my superpower. I'm planning on playing in my superpower for 2023, which means I'm not just going to know a whole bunch of stuff. No, I'm going to execute on the knowledge that I've invested in. I'm going to go back and I'm going to open up the notepads for all the masterminds and the individual coaching that I've done. Y'all, I've coached with everybody from Les Brown to Lisa Nichols to Susie Carter, to the list goes on. I've had people on my platform who are brilliant minds, but it is time for me to execute on all the knowledge that I've invested in, that I've put in, all the classes I've set in, all the coaching that I've had. I've got to execute those things. And it's time for me to execute all the things that perhaps in 2022, I was terrified to execute. It's time for me to execute building my own table instead of always expecting somebody to invite me to their table. It's time for me to execute so that I can what? Experience. I cannot experience the things that I won't execute. So I'll close with this. Maya Angelou has this beautiful quote, and she says, pursue the thing you love doing and do it so well that people can't take their eyes off of you. Like if that doesn't give you goosebumps, like just walk in the thing that you know, without a shadow of a doubt, that this is what God put me on this earth to do. And I will wake up every day that I have breath in my body and I will execute it as though there is no tomorrow. 2 years ago, August 22nd, 2020, I lost my nephew. Many of you might know, if you follow my journey, I have a twin sister. We're biological twins, 2 minutes apart, thick as thieves. And her baby boy passed away August 22nd of 2020. Still makes me emotional. He was 20 years young. Died in a tragic motorcycle crash. Gone. Like he had so much life, so much vigor, so much vibrancy, such a bright future ahead of him. And Jordan is gone. And every day when I think about all the things he could have been, all the things that I'm sure he had planned to accomplish. NFL was at the top of his list. He was going into his junior year at Morgan State University. He was winning every race, track and field across the country. He was everything, such a bright light in the world. And yet his legacy is whatever he did in those 20 short years that he was given on this earth. Mm-hmm. What are you doing with your every day? What are you doing with your every minute? What are you doing with your every second to show God, yes, I'm grateful and I'm thankful for every gift and talent and skill you have blessed me with, and I would not dare take it to the grave. Y'all, it's time to experience bigger. I'm turning it back over to you, Derrick.
Boom! Listen, she said it all. She said enough. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Some of y'all are thankful that you cleared your calendar today and you're here. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Dr. Cheryl Wood, right? Listen, I get some of you don't realize when I said I was going to experience bigger, yeah, I might have knocked on their door, but I had to make an investment. I had to make an investment on both. And I'm not ashamed of that. There's access that comes when you're willing to do something you've never done before. Mm-hmm. Dr. Cheryl Wood, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I can't wait. She's also going to be in Dallas. So y'all know she's coming to Dallas as well. She will be at the live event. I needed some of y'all in Dallas to get a sneak preview so you can go spread the word now. Now that you came in here today, you just said, oh, she's coming to Dallas too. Yeah. So go spread the word, because listen, everybody's not known everywhere. As big as she's playing, everybody doesn't know her, but they trust your level of influence. So go spread the word and tell them they better get themselves in the seat in Dallas. All right. Listen, y'all, I can't hold this up. I'm just telling you, I'm so excited. Another person, again, I'm telling y'all the story because I need y'all to understand that bigger looks different for all of us, but bigger starts in the dark. I'm about to say something to y'all. Bigger starts in the dark. What do you mean? I was up early in the morning one morning, and I decided to reach out to Melody. In the course of reaching out to Melody, y'all, I don't know about this. Me and my who's on the call? I can't say that. Oh, Kelly, I almost slipped up and said something. Listen, there's some people that live in some communities that got gates. Okay. And then if you get through the gated community, when you get to their property, sometimes they got a gate on their property, or if they don't have a gate on their property, they got a dog on their property. Now they're just levels to get to them before you get to that door. Man, I was reaching out to Melody, man. I got to the gate and these people started checking me, man. They was checking me. They checked me, man. Who is this guy, man? Who over here trying to get into the camp, right? And they checked me and I got a call from somebody. I don't even know, I can't remember who it was, but I got a call and I talked to him. I just shared what I was doing. And he said, listen, I don't think you need Melody on that level. You're going to need to talk to this person over here. I said, all right. I was just glad I met clearance. Shoot, I got past clearance. I got to another person and man, I start talking to that person. I'm not calling names because I don't want to do that, but I start talking to that person. And one night my wife was like, who are you talking to? I said, man, I'm talking to such and such. And she said, it's like, that's your sister. I said, my sister on the call too. I said, I know it ain't, but it is like it. And we just connected and she rocked and she passed the information. And then she got me on the phone with Melody. Of course, during the pandemic, I started watching TV like I ain't never watched it before. So of course, me and my wife, we fell in love with all the reality shows. And so we started watching the shows. And so we were watching the shows and I'm watching the show and, and we make our comments about the show, oh, such and such. And, we do our thing. But then I don't know, I looked at my business and I coach 88% of the people I coach are women. And I said, I got to bring a woman into the space that's bigger. I can't keep talking about bigger and not bring in bigger. So I brought in Dr. Cheryl Wood and I reached out and they said, you know what? She likes kind of what you're doing and she's willing to do something with you. I said, all right, well, shoot. If she's willing to do it, well, what do we do? This is what we do. Let's go. But her heart came before just her skill as well. I saw all the stuff. But then when I talked to her directly, it was like, yeah, you picked the right one. Y'all, I'm gonna get out the way because y'all know I can talk forever as myself, but I told myself today's not my day. Y'all, let's give it up for Melody Shari. She's getting ready to share with us whatever she wants to share with us. She told us all about all the stuff she got rocking and rolling. Here's what I do know. A person that can manage being a full-time mom, 4 kids, they can manage a business, then multiple businesses, and then businesses that are successful, then businesses that got commas after them, like multiple commas. I mean, I'm gonna shut up and just take notes because that's what we desire. Melody, it's your floor.
Thank you, Derrick. Listen, y'all, Derrick is so amazing. Like he said, from the first conversation we ever had, we clicked, you can tell whenever the energy is right. And I can tell y'all, his energy has been right from the get-go. So if you're already in his coaching program, kudos to you. If you're looking for a coach on here, y'all need to get with him because he is the truth. So I know, Derrick, my audience who has, been on our lives, I've gotten so many DMs about you. They're like, oh my gosh, who is he? I'm about to follow him. They think you are amazing. So thank you too for pouring into my support system as well. Let's see, where do we start? First of all, when it comes to, for me, Love and Marriage Huntsville, for example, I'm a firm believer in divine timing, right? I'm a firm believer in divine timing. So if y'all can type divine timing, and let's put that out there. That's what Derrick said we're doing today, right? We typing stuff to put it out there, divine timing. In order to be in divine timing, you have to be in divine alignment. So divine timing, divine alignment, that goes hand in hand, because if you're in the right place with the right people at the right time, then you get what is divinely yours, which should align with your purpose. So I want y'all to also type purpose as well in the chat. Love and Marriage Huntsville, I consider that one of my mini babies. And I'll be honest, whenever I first met with the EP, Carlos King, and pitched Love and Marriage Huntsville, it took 3 years before it became a reality. 3 years. People sometimes look and they think that stuff happens immediately, right? As soon as you have a meeting about something or you put a business plan together, it just goes and blows up out the roof overnight. That's not true. But for those 3 years, I want to tell y'all what I kept doing. In those 3 years, because I knew that there was some kind of purpose behind creating a platform that allowed me to be honest, transparent, and share my life, which in turn would end up encouraging and inspiring others. For those 3 years, I continuously reached out to Carlos, text him, email him, sending him stuff about what's going on in Huntsville. Look, we got this in Huntsville. Huntsville now has this many more people coming to Huntsville. Hey, we're at this Chamber of Commerce event. You know, this is what's happening. 3 years, y'all. Many people would have said, oh, after year 1, 6 months, never mind, it's not gonna happen. Let me move along to something else, right? Let me move along this, let me figure something else out. But for 3 years, I stayed dedicated to what it was that I knew that I desired for myself, for my life, for my family. And we laugh and joke about it sometimes now because he's like, shoot, Melody did not let up, and I did. So I want to encourage you, when you know that something is a part of your divine alignment, divine timing, know that everything happens exactly when it's supposed to happen, how it's supposed to happen. Hold on. Sorry, boom. That took me, okay, I'm sorry, somebody beeped in. I don't know how. I think I didn't do my do not disturb. It took me off. Anyway, when things are happening and you are in your divine alignment, divine timing is going to happen and everything will work exactly how it's supposed to, and you do have to stay persistent in that. So many times we start to get discouraged. We start to allow the enemy, I heard somebody talk earlier a little bit about fear, but we start to allow the enemy to come in and sway us from what it is that we know we're supposed to be doing. But I want to tell you that if spiritually you are where you're supposed to be, that divine timing and divine alignment is going to happen. So let's imagine if I had said, okay, met with Carlos, it's been a year, it's been 2 years, nothing has popped out yet, forget it, never mind. Do you know the millions of women viewers, and I'm gonna say women viewers because we all know the Oprah Winfrey Network is a Black, female-driven network. We all know that. I wanna say it's 86% or 90% of their viewership are Black women. Okay, so think about this, the millions of women who were able to pull strength from my story, who were able to feel empowered by seeing me go through marriage, scandal, and divorce and feel encouraged and feel empowered in knowing that if she can do it, I can do it too. That's when you start talking about purpose work, right? What I call purpose work. Some things I do because I enjoy doing it. As you do, I'm sure too. You enjoy doing it. It's fun. It's exciting. You love to do it. It's, you know, it's a thing to do and it makes you happy. But some things hold a little more weight because it's purpose work. You take it a little bit more seriously because this ain't just about me, but this is about purpose work, right? And so for me, my purpose work in seeing how many women, and even some men too, to be honest, like, okay, I know that ain't what I need to do. I need to go a different route because that definitely didn't work because it sure didn't work for Melody. And then let me figure this thing out. But people being able to see and connect to something that has allowed them to feel like, you know what? I feel empowered. I can be an overcomer. Whatever situation is happening in my life right now, I can move past it. I can grow. And there is bigger and there is purpose work for me, specifically for me, where in my divine alignment and my divine timing, when they meet and join one and meet at the right space, makes the perfect scenario, the perfect situation, right? And so that is what I've been able to experience by not giving up on what took 3 years of me almost bugging somebody to make happen. So I want to encourage you to not get weary. Don't get weary. The race is not given to the swift. The race is not given to the swift. Do not get weary. Whatever your dream is, if you had things that you had resolutions going into 2022 that you didn't hit, that you didn't quite accomplish, give yourself some grace. And I want y'all to type that in the chat. Give myself grace. Give yourself some grace because you know what? Baby, God kept you here with breath in your body and you about to go into a whole new year, and you can accomplish those things maybe now in 2023 that you didn't get to in 2022. It's okay. Sometimes we are so hard on ourselves, so quickly to get discouraged, right? Because things aren't moving how we think they should move. And I'm gonna tell y'all something, because sometimes we forget, but let me be very clear. We just came out of a national pandemic. We are still feeling the effects in every area of our life, from food to everything else, okay? By way of this pandemic. Baby, give yourself some grace if you didn't accomplish everything you wanted to accomplish last year. People have lost lives. There are millions of people who passed from COVID, right? We know that. You're still here. You're still here. You still have an opportunity to align with your purpose, to push forward in those visions and those dreams and those goals. You're still here. Give yourself a little bit of grace. I want you guys to type this in the chat. God is my source. God is my source. Now, let me share this with y'all. And I don't talk about this too much, Derrick, but I'm going to share this with your audience today. Whenever I made the decision to walk away from something that was, I'll be honest with y'all, that was keeping me from being in my purpose, because I was on an emotional roller coaster. Anybody on here been on emotional roller coasters? Type that in the chat. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. You can't operate in your best and in the 100% in your purpose when you're on an emotional roller coaster, when you are in traumatic situations, chaotic situations. You're just not going to operate at 100%. It's not going to happen. So when I made the decision in April 4th to be exact, of 2020, to walk away from everything I'd known to be my norm since I was 22, and I chose to walk away, I'll be honest with you, I did not know what my next was, Derrick. I didn't know what next looked like for me. So I think it was Tanya who talked about fear earlier. I could have allowed fear to cause me to say, you know what, I'm just going to stay right here in this comfortable spot, because at least I know this right here, and I don't know what next is. I didn't know what next was, but I knew that God had purpose and favor over my life, and I couldn't stay in chaos. See, some people love living in chaos. They run their business in chaos. There's something called a marketing strategy, where pretty much you bring out new products, new materials with drama and with, chaotic situations. It's a whole marketing strategy. Some people operate in that every day. I knew that I had to remove myself from the emotional roller coaster that I've been in for years so I could walk in my divine purpose. And the one thing, when I walked away, and I walked away with nothing, I walked away with nothing. I loaded my vehicle up, loaded up my 4 kids, and I was out. My baby was 3 months old. 3 months. I didn't know what next looked like for me. And for those of you who are on here, you was like, well, girl, you was filming. Actually, I wasn't. So I wasn't even getting that check. They had shut filming down because of COVID. So production had dipped out in March. I left in April. So I didn't really know what next looked like. But one thing that I always said was, every day, God is my source. God is my source. And that is what I held on to. And that is what I held on to when it came to creating new business ventures, new streams of income. Derrick, I'm going to be real with you. When I made that decision, and I'm saying this because some of your businesses aren't just businesses. They aren't just endeavors. They're a part of your purpose work, right? And so whenever, when I started saying God is my source, God is my source, I'll be honest with you, and I made that decision to be in my purpose, deals started falling out the sky even in the pandemic. I got a call to host Behind Every Man. I got a call to host Girlfriends Check-In, which was this thing OWN did during the pandemic for ladies to come together. I was getting calls left and right. My master class, how did it come to fruition? I was at my brother's house in Atlanta, because that's where I ended up going to for a short time once I left. And I had a PayPal notification come through my phone, Derrick, for $1,500. And I said, I ain't right? Well, I had been talking to my web designer about my class, and I guess somehow he had put it up there or something, right? So I get this pay, right? I was like, we hadn't even talked about it in a few months. So I forgot, I'm like, okay. I had a PayPal notification for $1,500. Now, mind you, this is someone who just left a marriage, walked away, 4 kids, got to figure out what income looks like for you right now, right? Notification came through. So I felt in that moment when I realized what it was, I'm like, this is the gold package of my masterclass. Shoot. I didn't have no syllabus. I didn't know what the course was how I was going to teach it. I teach it via Zoom, but at the time, I didn't know how I was going to teach it. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how I was going to bring it all together. But I knew in that moment, I said, now, girl, now you either going to refund him this $1,500 back, the person, you going to refund this $1,500 back, or you going to put this thing together, right? And I felt in that moment, in that crossroad, where God said, you have been carrying, because I've been talking about the class for about 2 years, you have been carrying this baby long enough. It's time for you to give birth. It's time for you to birth this vision and this goal and this dream. And I want to tell you, my first class, June of 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, I think I marketed on social media for maybe a week or two because everything had to happen so fast. I had 20 students, $30,000. Me by myself, the first gig, you know what I'm saying? By myself, not me and him, just me. I said, oh, shoot, I see you, God. I said, oh, shoot, it's on now, And I made a post recently on social media where I talked about my most income does not come from television. The majority of my income actually comes from my courses. And when God said go, because for me, that was a sign to go. And any of y'all who follow me know I use that phrase all the time. God said go. I got it trademarked. Y'all know that's my phrase. God said go. When God said go, to me choosing my purpose over an emotional roller coaster that didn't allow me to walk in purpose fully, to me choosing to birth this baby that I have been talking about and carrying around, and now he has made it my highest income earning piece as a now single Black woman, mother of 4, that has become my highest earning of my career. When God said go, I went. And so what I'm going to say, Derrick, is there are people who are on this Zoom, God is telling you to go. And he ain't telling you just to go big. He's telling you to go bigger. I used to say all the time, I don't want to be better. I want to be the best. I don't want to be great. I want to be the greatest. Does hard work come in that? Absolutely. Do sacrifices come in that? Absolutely. I don't get to run out here and play and go out every weekend and have fun all the time. No, I'm focused. So focus comes into play. Determination comes into play. Consistency comes into play. And I believe in operating in excellence, Derrick. When you operate in excellence, like you say, what you give out to the universe, that's how it will respond. That is exactly how it will respond. And I believe that there are several of you on this call who desire to go bigger for 2023, who have visions and babies that you have. We're talking about spiritually, but if you're pregnant, congratulations, that too. But you have babies that you need to birth. Quit walking around, honey. You've been in labor for 3 years. You've been in labor for 5 years. When are you going to go ahead and give birth? Because people are waiting. We are waiting on you. We are waiting on you. There are people attached to your purpose. There are people attached to your purpose that you probably don't even know are attached to your purpose who are waiting on you. And I'm going to tell you this real quick before I end there. Now you wait too long, God, to give that thing to somebody else. You wait too long, God to give that vision to somebody else. And you'll be talking about, I had thought about that 10 years ago. Well, baby, you thought about it 10. God gave it to me year 1 and I made it happen, okay? knowing that God is your source. And I'm going to turn it back over to Derrick because I got to film Love and Marriage Huntsville today.
Oh, my goodness, my goodness. Come on, y'all. Listen, I hope that our time, we said we were going to be 90 minutes. We're right at 86 minutes right now. So in 4 minutes, we're going to be at 90 minutes. I just first want to thank Tanya Bakari. I want to thank her right now, because when I asked her to step in and step up, she said, you know what, you started something right now in me, and yes, I'm gonna do it. Let's go. And she stepped up. She let us off today. Man, the questions that you answered, Melody, the 3 questions, that sparked a lot. Dr. Cheryl Wood, thank you for sharing with us and speaking to us about, executing, expecting, and moving ourselves into that level. And then Melody, for being transparent. You could have came in and talked about the dollar amount your businesses have done, but you took us back to where we are. And that is, there's something in us like it was in you, but letting us know that the start ain't always great.
Yeah.
You didn't have the investors and have all the things around you that made it easy, which people sometimes get the perception of because of what we see without having the backstory. How powerful a room like this is today, because people got to hear the story. She said something today. She said she was talking to somebody, and here's what I know. And anybody that knows me, they know I use the same terms, and I use them over and over because I know they work. And that's MIIA right now. I'm gonna wait. Somebody's gonna type it in the chat. I ain't even gonna say what it is. I ain't even gonna say what it is. Somebody gonna type in the chat what that is. MIIA. If my author don't type it in before somebody else types it in, somebody gonna type in the chat what it is. Yeah, he's typing right now. I'm gonna let him type. Yeah. Yeah, Dr. John Mack, if you got a book in you, he's in the room. Diane Eunice, if you are struggling in a relationship, you need a sexpert in your life. I'm just telling you who she is. She's in the room. All right, Dr. John, thank you. Massive, immediate, imperfect action. We don't have time for you to get it perfect, because if you keep getting it perfect, then it's going to get passed over, because it kind of in your hands, it will not be perfect, because we are not perfect. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for availability, and we're looking for the opportunity to get it into the earth realm. If he needs to do something, he's going to do it through a person, right? So let's get it going. There's action that you need to take. Now, when you hear that, you need to know the stage that you're in and the step that you're on. You need to know the stage that you're in and the step that you're on. You may have 10 steps to get to the fulfillment of it. Please focus on the step that you're on. That's the most important one. If getting the business name, getting the LLC name, getting your EIN number, if that's the step that you're on, go get it done. So I'm gonna give you a couple of things in my 2-minute close. Dates and deadlines cause you to get into action. Dates and deadlines. Stop talking about, I'm doing it later. No, I need you to say, I will get this done by this day, and what is the specific thing that you're doing? I'm giving some coaching right now. Dates and deadlines. Next month, that's not it for me. That's not going to get it done. I want a date and I want a deadline, because that level of accountability will squeeze out of you what you need, and you're going to see progress. Progress, we praise progress as success, but you got to push yourself a little bit, okay? You got to push yourself. There's nothing we're selling today. If you heard something and you know you need it from somebody, go get it. If you're in real estate and you need to get into her program, 600 people's already been a part. Go find it. Go look for it. Seek it out. It's not going to be handed to you. We gave you a sample. Hear me. I got 2 minutes. A sample is supposed to let you know if you want it. It's not supposed to get you full. When you get a sample in the grocery store, then they tell you the item is on aisle 7. You can go over to aisle 7 and purchase it. Go find it on her social media. It's there. Go find it. Google it. It's there. So if you know that's you, if you know what Dr. Cheryl Wood was talking about and you need to be a part of her program, go get a part of it. You need to go quick, fast, and in a hurry, right? So go look at it. Some of you, you know what you need to do? You need to get in the room on January 8th. And you're like, now I got to get in the room because if this was a sample, I need all of it. We'll be together on January 8th from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. in Dallas, Texas. Frisco, Texas is where the Dallas Cowboys play. It's called the Formation Building. That's where we're going to be. Tanya's going to be back in the room live. Diane Eunice is in here. She's going to be in the room live. Dr. John Mack, he's going to be in the room live that day. Dr. Cheryl Wood is coming. She'll be in the room live. And you just never know. Y'all don't know about me. Y'all don't know. You never know. Melody may be making a trip to that. I don't know. We don't know yet. But just know we got a host of speakers that are going to be in the room live. We're going to be dropping knowledge and we're going to be pushing you, getting you started. Now, for those of you that are in this space right now, hear me and hear me well. I'm providing you 2 jumpstart sessions before the new year. If you do not have the link yet, some of you got in this room through a different way. All kind of stuff started happening at the end, and that's fine. You in the room. But for some of you that do not have the jumpstart coaching sessions, and you want to be a part of that, you need to find a way. Get to me, get on Facebook Messenger, reach out to me. Hey, I was in the room. Get on Instagram Messenger. I was in the room, and I'll make sure you have access to the room. But we're going to carry this out. You don't just push and not have somebody ready to catch the baby. We're going to carry this out. We're going to help you birth it, and then we're going to help you build it. We're going to cause profitability to come into your life. So that's that. Listen, y'all, I want to thank you. I know we could go on for hours. Yeah, can you post the link to the event on January 8th for us to register and share with others? Yes, ma'am. Let's post it right now. I'm going to post this link. If you need the link, I want you to grab it. You need to grab it right away. I'm going to stay on. I'm in Austin, Texas. My wife is on the call. I'm trying to get home. My wife, I just spoke this morning down here in Austin. So I'm trying to get back home. My wife is on the call. And so I'm trying to go back home. But here we are. We had a great day together. Here is the link. Thank you from Angelique in New York. Yes. I appreciate each and every one of our speakers. There's the link for January 8th. Go ahead and grab that link. Come on, Melody. Thank you again for being here for the entire time. Y'all give it up for Melody. Listen, hey, here it is. Y'all got it. Listen to me. We're going to get the replay out to y'all. This was Experience Bigger Virtual. Hold on, hold on, y'all. Because, my guy's going to edit all this stuff up. So let me give us a good ending. I gotta get the ending real quick and then we're gonna get out. Hey, let me shout out my sisters in here, y'all. Both of my sisters in here. My sister Daphne's in the room. Yeah, I can't see her picture, but that's fine. And then my sister Tammy, she's in the room. And then my wife is actually getting her hair done and she's in the room. She's T-Butts, y'all. Y'all know I'm around a lot of women, but y'all know that's my woman. So I want to make sure I always say her name in front of all y'all. Y'all know that's who she is, T-Butts. All right. So just because she allows me this access, that's my woman right there. All right. T-Butts. All right. Okay. Now I got to get my intro, my exit, and then we're going to be out. How you doing? My name is Derrick Butts. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. Experience Bigger Virtual. It was exactly what I thought and so much more. Our powerful speakers, Tanya Bakari, Dr. Cheryl Wood, and Melody Shari, they tore up the room. If you missed it, don't you worry. There's access for you coming. You need to watch the replay. Catch yourself back up. And if you can, join us on January 8th. Experience Bigger Virtual. That's our time. I'm Derrick Butts. Assist you to win a connected place for winners. What are we doing? Don't matter your age or stage, your race or place. Whatever you do, let's go win. Y'all, I love you. Go have a great day. Keep on winning. We'll see you on social media. We'll see you around. Tell somebody about Experience Bigger January 8th. We out of here. Bye-bye.